Attention on deck. You're about to take command. Welcome to the bunker.
Welcome, everybody, back to the bunker. And yes, that was me and Jesse watching our intro. We like to do that here. I'm your host, Andy Burrows. And as formerly just mentioned, as you can see, or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, you can hear one of my co-hosts is here. The other guy, the Scouse fellow, is recording the safety 1 point safety. I don't know who they are. 1 point safety show. He's over there with that rabble recording that right now. We love Scotty. I'm only joking. Mr. Jesse Martin, how are you, sir?
Doing great, man. Yeah, excited. Got some news. Maybe be going overseas. Schedules out, and I'm ready. I'm ready for week one right now. To be honest with you, I'm ready for week one.
I know, right? Let's get into it. Obviously, the breaking news. So, the schedule come out yesterday. The breaking news 2 or 3 days before that was the worst kept secret in football. Pretty much, actually, before I get into that, Jesse, why don't they just release the whole fucking schedule? All these leaks and, we're going here week one, and then this is Thanksgiving Day, and this is Christmas Day. Just release the By the time I'd heard about 8 or 9 Commanders games, I'm thinking to myself, just release the fucking schedule. You know what I mean?
It's the cog of it's the powerful cog of the NFL, man. It's just one cog. They want
Hollywood.
They want NFL to be talked about 365 days a year.
It's the NFL. Yeah. They don't need to hype it up.
But they do this. That's why they have a schedule release show, and leaking out games here and there, man. Look, everybody was glued to their phones, this whole entire week looking for a game leak here and there. Where were the Commanders going to play on? Were they going to play on Thanksgiving? Or are they going to have the Christmas game? What is their first their week one matchup? Are they playing in Madrid? Would they open up in Brazil? Everybody's engaged in that stuff. And so I kind of do understand the excitement about it. I was excited about it, man. I checked my phone every 20 minutes yesterday to try to get it, see if there was another game leak. Cause I'm trying to plan, my fall and winter. As you know, I'm a season ticket holder, much like yourself. So I want to know, okay, am I going to sell this week 2? Am I going to go to week 2? Should I make some money off the Lions game? I wonder what week we're playing that at. So everybody wants to plan their fall and winter all around the NFL because it's such a big entity. And, it's just another cog in the wheel, man.
I've never been so popular. The amount of people that know that me and Scotty have a season ticket. So Andy, you're not going to be over for this game. Can I have the Lions, or can I have this game? Can I have the Cowboys? Except, look, anyone that wants our ticket, reach out to us. We do giveaways on the show. We help our friends out. We helped Jesse out last year. Now you're a season ticket holder. Max Taman, me and Scott Hartley do share a Washington Commander season ticket. We're happy to help anyone out. So let's get into it, Jesse. The news that broke before the schedule come out, like I said at the start of the show, was probably the worst kept secret in football. We had already booked our flights, our accommodation. The Commanders on week 11, my friend, are off to Madrid, Spain, playing in a Real Madrid stadium, which I can tell you firsthand, having been there. Wow, absolutely incredible. You weren't coming. You are now flying over to Spain to join us. That lasted all of about 3 hours, I think. I think you might have saw the hype online on social media. What did you make of the Commanders being announced that we are going to be the road team against the Miami Dolphins in Spain?
Yeah, no, it's pretty remarkable, Andy. I mean, it's been 9 years since we played an international game, and I think that's probably the longest out of any team. But we really haven't had nothing to really be hyped about until this year. But they're propping up Jaden Daniels. They're putting him front and center of the NFC. And they want him to go and be with the Commanders, to be the first team that ever plays in Spain. And I think it's great, man. And at first I was like, no, I'm not going to do that, dude. I got so much going on, season tickets. My daughter's moving to Hawaii. And then my arm got twisted just a touch, and the excitement that was boiling over when it became official, and so yeah,
I looked at our group chat and you were like, "Yeah, I booked it." I'm like, "Oh, that lasted long."
yeah. So just waiting for these packages to come out. I had to put a deposit down and everything, but I'm
Yeah,
excited. I'm excited, man. I get to go overseas with some of my best friends in the whole entire world, meeting out there, and we're going to have a good weekend. Instead of you guys coming over, I'm going to come to you guys, so it's going to be
yeah.
fun.
It's literally 2 hours, 20 minutes on a plane for us, Spain. So
It's like
people
12 hours for
yeah,
us.
people here do like day trips. You can leave in the morning. People over here, I know people. Me and my wife are thinking about doing it this summer, where we go to like Barcelona for the day. You get like the 6 a.m. flight. You're there by 8 a.m. You spend all day, and you get like the 10 p.m. flight back. So you've got all day.
Wow.
And so we do that like with lots of European places. We can do that, France, Germany, etc., etc. As for the commanders coming over, yeah, I think it's incredible.
Sure.
I know a lot of the UK fans watching or listening to this, they've all been DMing me. I'm really worried about tickets, Andy. Like the cheapest ones I'm seeing are like £200 bucks, and I'm like, that's probably what it's going to be. This is the first ever game.
Yeah.
Remember London? Back
Yeah.
then, it was a little bit different. Don't get me wrong, we paid a hefty price for the London game, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near what we're going to get now. I mean, everyone that's a season ticket holder, Jesse, you probably would have got this email as
Yeah.
well. So anyone that's a season ticket holder at the Commanders, you're going to get like a little mini pre-sale.
Yeah.
Anyone that's a season ticket holder, you're pretty much guaranteed a ticket for the Spain game. And then
Mhm.
it's just, I think it's going to be, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be Ticketmaster. You're going to be in a queue. It's going to be potluck. They're going to go, hey, look, here's tickets. This is the price. You either pay it or you get out of the queue. I think that's how it's going to work from everything I'm
Yeah.
reading. I spoke to some guys that went to the Falcons guys that went to Germany last year. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. And they were the same. They like, look, Andy, we just got put in a Ticketmaster queue and you take what tickets you're given. If you get lucky, it might cost you $100. If you get unlucky, it might cost you $400.
Yeah.
It's the risk you take, and it's the business we're in now. Sports tickets, gone are the
Sure.
days of sports tickets being cheap, Jesse. I remember going to like soccer games over here for like £30, £40. I remember going to the New York Giants game on Thanksgiving, and some of friends of ours upgraded our tickets to the end zone when I was there, but tickets were going for like $7.
Wow.
Do you remember the cold game? I think
Yeah.
we won 7-6. It was something really
Yeah.
bad. It was a terrible game. It was Thanksgiving at FedEx Field then, the Washington Redskins. And I think they were giving away tickets for like $8.
Look,
Before,
man, week one, I went on because since the schedule's out, tickets are available for regular season games, in the U.S., not international games. And I was just curious, like, because the Giants are coming in. I have two tickets, but I elected to sit with you guys in my same section. Two seats over for sale is $366 per ticket.
yeah, I wonder
Per
what ours will
ticket.
be. My ticket's in the upper tier above where you guys are. But even then, that's going to be like 220,
Yeah,
230
it's
just for the,
crazy. But that's what happens when you have a winning team.
yeah, no, you're right. And let's talk about having a winning team. So, like you mentioned there, Jesse, we open up week one with the New York Giants, 1 p.m. game. Make the most of these 1 p.m. games,
Yeah,
especially if
they're
you
going
are
to be
listening to this
few
over
and far
here.
between.
If you are listening to this, and I know many of you do in the UK and all over Europe, it's good for us, but it's going to be brutal. I'm glad our team are good. I am going to sacrifice more sleep than I think I ever have this coming season. So we're going to get into that in a minute. But we open up week one against the New York Giants, Jesse. Obviously, we were chatting in our group chat yesterday. They're much improved from what we saw last time we went. We all attended the game together. We were at the New York Giants game when we played at Norfolk Stadium. What are you making of week one and the New York Giants rolling into town? Won't be as easy as people
No,
think it will be. I think we'll win. I don't think it'll be as easy as previous years gone by. Let's say the Giants can't get any worse. I don't think it's any possible for them to get any worse. But week one, the New York Giants rolling into town. What do we say? Start 1-0?
yeah, I think so. But like you said, Andy, I don't think it's going to be as easy. We're not going to they're not going to be a rollover team. They got a brutal schedule
Oh, their
to
first
start.
four
Yeah,
game. They're not home to like the third game, and that's Kansas
it,
City.
it's yeah, it's crazy. But I like this. I like what the NFL did for us. They gave us one of our easier quote unquote easier games of the year to start off. But the Giants, they got better. Their defense is freaking really, really good on paper. What they did to the back end of their defense this year in free agency and in the draft was spectacular. And they got the best pass rusher to come out. In a while, Abdul Carter. That just makes the Tunsil signing ever much more important. They're not going to be a rollover. We're going to have our hands full, but I do think we are going to prevail. And once again, when the Brits come to town, they'll leave with a W. And we're supposed to be favored in like 12 of our games, even though our schedule is really, really tough. But that's pretty going good.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean, if you look at it as well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prime time games, Jesse. One of them being our next game that we're going to get into. We're not going to break them all down, don't worry. We're not going to be here for like an hour and a half talking about every single game, but 5 prime time games, Jesse. I mean, 8:15 kickoffs, 8:20 kickoffs. Again, the UK guys. Get some coffee down you, get some Red Bulls. We're going to need them in this coming season. Green Bay on the road. It's a short turnaround, Jesse. So we start on the Sunday at the Giants, and then we travel to, I think Scott Hartley's got a statue there now in Green Bay somewhere. I think there's a Hartley statue, him and Scouser. They're going to return maybe to Green Bay. Hard game, second game. Maybe not as hard as it would have been going there in December and January. I'm quite pleased we're going there at the start of the season. Should be relatively, if you're going to play Green Bay, I always say play them in September and October. You don't want to go there from December onwards. You do not want to be going to Green Bay. LJ will allude to that. She knows it better than anyone. She's told us you do not want to be going to Green Bay. What do you reckon second game of the season, bro? That'll be a real test.
Yeah, no, definitely. Green Bay it's a very good, solid team. Jordan Love's a good quarterback. They got weapons on it, and they got a pretty good defense. And this was one of the games that I was worried about. It's like I did not want this game in December or even at the end of November. We lucked out again a week 2. I mean, obviously we have to play them. They're on the schedule, but to play them early when Green Bay is still warm, I think is a definite plus for us in this game. So we definitely have a better chance of winning this game since it's not in the cold.
Yeah, we're going to get to our prediction games like we do every season, but we're going to wait for Scouts to come back to do that. If you look at week 3, week 4, and week 5, Jesse, Raiders at home, Falcons on the road, and the Chargers on the road, I believe it is in week 5, right? Again, winnable games. I mean, we say brutal schedule, but when you look at it, I'm going to tick the Giants. I know we're not going to go into all of them. I'm going to tick the Giants. Green Bay, it's a toss of a coin, I think, but you potentially could tick the Green Bay. I'm not letting my heart rule my head here because I genuinely think they've got better. We've got a lot better as well. So you could potentially be 2-0. Then you look at Raiders, Falcons, Chargers, and you're thinking, hang on a minute. Potentially, there's a few banana skins in there, but potentially, Jesse, we could be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and people are going to, Scotty G's going to come at me going, no, he's drinking the Kool-Aid. But with our team and with what we've got going now, there's no reason why we can't go 5-0.
If the football bounces our way, sure. The Raiders, we just don't know what they're going to be yet. They got a whole new coaching staff, and they brought over.
I don't think they know what they're going to be.
Yeah, that's true. And they brought over a new quarterback, so that team is not sure. We don't know what to expect. And the Falcons, you remember, last year. I mean, it took us to the brim. And Penix is looks like he's going to be a good quarterback. So that team is another year further in their development. And the Chargers, the Chargers are one of those teams that it doesn't matter what team in the NFL they could beat. They could beat any team in the NFL. I think they're a lot like us in a sense that any given Sunday, they could beat you. They got a great quarterback in Justin Herbert. Their defense has gotten a lot better, and they got a maniac as a coach. So that game, I think, will be favored in all these games. I guarantee that. But I think that game is going to be tough as well.
Do you think we'll see much of Josh Connolly and Trey Amos in these games? Obviously, Josh we'll see, but Trey, you know what I mean?
We should.
It's a goodish start for the rookies coming into the league, isn't it, really? I mean, it's the league. I get it.
I think I'm 100% sold that Amos is going to start the year.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sold. I think Connolly Jr. is our future, no matter what. But again, and even, going back and listening to, real NFL analysts talk about Connolly Jr., they absolutely expect him to be, a bookend tackle for us for 10, 15 years. But he still has some development to do. So if I would have had to put money on it, both of them could start at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
I would put more money on Amos starting than I would.
yeah, and as a
Connolly
cornerback,
Jr.
it's not the worst start to an NFL season. I mean, you look at you mentioned the Giants. I mean, you look at their start. Oh my God, imagine being one of their rookies just coming into the league for the first time. You're thinking you're going to sink or swim. I'm glad we haven't kind of got that schedule. But then our first, Jesse, we've got in the space of 3 weeks after week 5, looking at the schedule, we've got 2 Monday night football games, which is very few and far between. I don't remember too many teams playing Monday night football so close. So we've got the Bears week 6, then we play the Cowboys week 7, and week 8, which is the one I'm meant to be in DC that week. I was praying that we're at home. We're not. We're on the. How much is a flight to Kansas City, Jesse? Can we wrangle that?
I can't afford another flight.
Okay, yeah, me and you might have to go to KC. But yeah, Monday night football. Then again, so we go Bears Monday night football, and then we go to Kansas City Monday night football. Then the schedule starts. Then it starts to ramp up, Jesse, for them 3 weeks. I mean, the Cowboys is the Cowboys. We never know what that's going to either be. A very one-sided game. It'll be a close game, and you never know from season to season what fucking them boys are going to do. They're not going to beat us, but we're going to get to that in a minute. But 2 Monday night football games, Jesse, in the space of 3 weeks. What did you make of that?
Yeah. I mean, that's
this proves how much I think the league
are
loving Washington this year, bro.
Yeah,
I think it's the JD5 effect.
They're putting, Louis T. Was on a podcast, and if those don't know who I'm talking about, it's Louis T. He's the host of Louis T. Network podcast, but he also has a podcast where he gets on from every bigger podcasts from all throughout the NFC East. And there is a Eagles fan, I think there's like Lord Brunson or something like that, and he before the schedule came out, he flat out said, "Hey, there's going to be 8 primetime games." Scheduled for the Washington Commanders, and everybody said, "Oh, you can't do that and that." And even though there's only 5, there was only technically prime time. We have 8 standalone games, which are televised nationally and even worldwide. So they're putting Jaden Daniels on a pedestal, and I agree with them 100%, saying that they want JD5 to be the Patrick Mahomes of the NFC. And of course, Eagles fans got butthurt because, you say anything against Jalen Hurts, which, let's be honest, he's not as good as quarterback as Jaden Daniels. He's just not.
Nope.
But yeah, they're putting him on a pedestal, and they're saying, "Hey, NFL, you need to watch this guy because he's really fucking good."
This is something that I think we mentioned 2 weeks ago. We didn't have a show last week because we were kind of waiting for the schedule to come out. Wasn't much to get into last week, but I mentioned it to you and Scouse 2 weeks ago, and I kind of thought about this now. We're looking at the schedule and looking what the NFL are doing with the Commanders, and I think it's great. I mean, it's proven that we've got a guy at quarterback that they're like, that everyone's going to want to watch this worldwide, nationally, over there in the States, the primetime games. More pressure or less pressure on us?
I mean, yeah, of course, it's more pressure. I mean,
because we know we have the history of prime time, but that was different. This is a different team.
This is totally different now, and Dan Quinn's really good in prime time. I think he's like 11-4 or something like that. So, it's a total different team. But yeah, we have a target on our backs now. We were in the NFC title game, so
we're the hunted now instead of the hunters.
Yeah, exactly. So every team that comes to play us, they want to take us down, and that's okay. That's what the Chiefs feel like. That's what the Eagles have been feeling like for the past couple of years. That's what the Lions are feeling like right now. They're the teams. We are now the team when we go into somebody else's house. Okay, the home crowd is fearful of our team because we're we're good. We're
Mm,
good. And the NFL wants to. I mean, look at the Kansas City Chiefs. No one, nobody likes watching the Chiefs. Okay, they win too goddamn much. It was kind of the same thing as the
Patriots.
Patriots. For years and years. But the Patriots were always on TV, on prime time, on nationally televised game because they were that damn good. And the NFL, you know, winning sells. If
Mhm.
that makes sense. You win, you're going to sell. It's just money. It's money to them.
Yeah, I hope I don't sleep for the next 5 to 6 years because it means my team are good.
Yeah,
Yeah, with these
yeah,
people are like, oh, yes, yeah, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be like 1:15, 1:20 a.m. kickoffs for us. A lot of the times, Monday Night Football is brutal. That's why I tweeted Keith today. Mr. Gray was moaning that he's going to get in at like 2 a.m. I'm like, dude, you'll be walking in your house. I'll be walking to work. I'll be walking into my, just watch the Commanders, have a shower, and go to work. But I'll take it. I don't care if I have to
yeah.
do that for the next 5, 6 years. If it means that we could potentially win a Super Bowl. I don't want to, say it out too loud, but that's the aim. That's where we need to
That's
start.
the goal.
We were
It's the
one game
ultimate
away.
goal.
We were one game away last season. Let's skip ahead a few, Jesse. We've done the Monday Night Football games. Spain,
Oh,
Dolphins,
Spoon.
Spain.
Yeah,
First of all, that's just going to be a great experience. I, it's going to be like a mini England over there. I cannot
yeah.
tell you, mate, how many I've done an interview. I think about 2 hours ago with one of your guys over there. Really,
Eric Flack.
Eric Flack messaged
Yeah.
me. He's like, it's going to be on. So, Jesse, the channel WUSA 9,
Yep. Yep.
eight
Yep.
o'clock
Yep.
tonight. So I'm going
Nice.
to get. I'm on it. So he
Cool.
interviewed me. He was asking me all about the international. How many fans do you think will travel? Jesse, I can't stress to you how many thousands upon thousands
Oh, sure.
of Brits alone, and this is not even including the Spanish in this because they're. I know a few guys over there, and they're like, Andy, this is huge over there. A couple of our guys, Sergio, and a couple of the other guys that tweet us regularly that live over there. They're like, Andy, this is going to be big. But we
Yeah.
are invading that country, bro. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
one thing that I did like to see yourself, Hog Farmer Chris, I think Joe's coming. I think Jeff's coming. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if Mr. Keith Gray is coming yet. I think
I
he's
talked to him today, and I
toying with
think
it.
we're
We're talking
I'll
him
talk.
into it.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that a little bit
Yeah.
later off
Yeah.
camera. But
So,
yeah,
okay. So hopefully keeps, I mean, just talk to us just briefly while we're going through this schedule. Me and you have mentioned this a few times now. In all the years, I've known you quite a good number of years now, and we've spoke about the international games, but specifically it's our team involved now. What does it mean to an American when you see the game growing further and further in Europe, in Mexico, in Brazil? There's a game in Australia, Jesse.
yeah,
And I've said this, and we're not going to get into this debate now, but I still think we're getting closer to a franchise being outside the United States. That's for another debate. I think this is
yeah.
where they're slowly going now because of what
I
they're
think
doing.
it is. I mean, you see, let's look at what the NFL look at the NFL schedule and the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, they got two back to back
Ireland and London.
games, Ireland and London. So this is a test for the NFL. They're testing what how road teams would handle playing a team on in that territory. So I do believe at some point in time there's going to be a team out there, and I don't think a team would move. I think there would be an expansion if there is
Yeah,
one.
I used to say the Jags, but then I'm looking at how much they've spent recently on their
Yeah,
stadium and what they've
yeah,
done because we've said many times on this show, and obviously Khan that owns the Jags owns 60% of Wembley Stadium. He's
yeah,
tried to buy it many times, and I think generally a few years back before they agreed the work that they're doing on the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium right now, the hope was to move them to Wembley Stadium because they really did try to buy our English FA,
yeah.
and they were adamant that they can't. He was adamant he could get it all, and if he had, I think the Jags would have been the team over here. It's going to be interesting the expansion team and how that would work. I know I need to speak to Scotty Hartley because I know obviously he was with the Q&A with the commissioner over at the draft, and I said I need to ask him because he was asking. He said to me, "If there's any questions you want to ask the commissioner," I was like, seriously, ask him about is there going to be a team in Europe because I slowly but slowly think the more, like you just said, going from Ireland to London, and then you've got us, the Commanders, over in Madrid with it. And what a game to do at the Dolphins. They know that the Dolphins are and I've got a few friends that are Dolphins fans. Them, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and us, I would say, and the Giants to an extent, are probably the most well-supported teams in Europe.
Yeah.
Easily. That stadium is going to be there's going to be a hell of a lot of Commanders, but you're wait till you see how many Dolphins fans are there as well.
I could see multiple teams being over there. Eventually, I'm pretty sure they're going to want a whole division worth of
Mm.
teams. Four
Wow, well, that'd be
teams.
interesting.
You have two in England. One
One in
in
Germany,
Germany, one
one in
in
Spain.
Spain, one in Ireland or something like that. But
Yeah.
you know, I think that would be the ultimate route to do it, to make it competitively fair, so to
How
speak.
does that make you? I mean, I get into this debate again with many of my American friends, and a lot of them I consider really good friends like yourself. But a lot of them, and I mean, people like Scotty G might tweet us when he listens to this and says he doesn't want it. Some people are all for it. As an American, and it's your game, and it will always be your game. And I've always said that, and I would defend the American people to the hilt. That people, when they moan about American football, what do you feel as an American with it? Are you of the view of no, it's our game, I want it to stay in the States, or would you be up for an expansion teams or like four teams in a quote unquote European division, the NFC, whatever it will be called,
Yeah,
AFC or
yeah.
whatever they're going to call it? Would you, as an American football fan, would that sit well with you?
I'd be fine with it. This is more opportunities to make trips out uh, to wherever the Commanders may play, the team out there. Like right now, I wouldn't want a Super Bowl out there. I think that should stay in the States.
I
But
agree.
I wouldn't have a problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'm definitely not going to say that. Jesse, let's skip to near the end of the season now because I think we're gonna be in the mix. No matter, I think I genuinely,
Yeah.
even with this schedule, I back. Again, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I know, but I back our team. I say it every year, but I generally think we are getting a hell of a lot better. Last season proved that. This will be interesting, Jesse. From week 15 to week 18, Giants, Philly, Cowboys, Philly. It's happened again. This has happened a few seasons now, where the back end of the season has been
Yeah.
NFC East games. Is that the block, Jesse, of 4 weeks make or break the season?
I mean, you could probably even rewind that 1 week further, or even 2 weeks further, from November 30th, because the Broncos are a great team.
Hmm.
It's going to be
Then the
interesting to see with the
Vikings.
Vikings. Man,
Mm.
they're the end of the schedule is brutal. Now week 8, I don't understand why the NFL put the Eagles as the very last game, because we could have because that's a premier game right there. So a premier NFC game right there, not just the NFC East, but NFC. Um, we could have our wild card and division wrapped up by then. You know what I mean? And that game could
Hmm.
mean nothing whatsoever. You would think they would have that game earlier on, but yeah, it's a brutal stretch. Look, playing in the NFC East, doesn't matter how good or bad the teams are. Most of the time, they're going to be slobber knockers. They're going to be
Hmm.
tough games, and anything can happen. I expect the Cowboys to be better this year too, with a healthy Dak. So yeah, it's
See
a
how long he
brutal.
stays healthy.
That's true. It's a brutal end to the season right there. But I
Well,
don't
one
like the
question though. One
Eagles
question.
Cowboys Eagles.
Can you make a good Christmas dinner? Because I might be spending Christmas Day with you.
Yeah,
What did you
yeah, we'll figure something out.
what did you make of that Christmas
Love it.
Day? I mean,
Absolutely love it.
that split a lot of. I read a lot of my American friends on social media. I mean, it didn't go down to one in my house because it's Christmas Day, and it's 7 o'clock in the evening for us. What did you make of the Commanders playing the Cowboys on Christmas Day?
That's it's beautiful, man. I love it. I
That
really
blows a lot of Europeans' minds, by the way. Sport on Christmas Day, we don't have it.
I, I wish it was either the 4 o'clock or the 8 o'clock game. But yeah, man, I'm all
1
for
p.m. Are
that.
you gonna
I'm
go?
all for that. Absolutely. Yeah, I think I'm taking my mom.
Christian, honestly, yes. I mean, I would love
Yeah, I
to
think
go. Where's
yeah,
my wife
that's the
gonna go?
game. Either my mom's going to go with me to that game or like the Lions game. But if I don't go, or if my mom doesn't go, then Keith's son's going to get that ticket, so he can go to that
Yeah, I
game
mean,
as well
oh,
too.
dude, I would. Where's my wife? I'd love to go to the stadium. Can't. She's around. I can't say too much. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. So, what did you make of it being on Netflix, though, Jesse?
Hey, man, that's it's crazy. Like, net, there's so many entities that are, that games are being broadcasted on.
It's a different world
Like
we live in now, bro.
YouTube now, there's going to
Yeah.
be a game on freaking YouTube that unless you got freaking YouTube, YouTube TV, you're not going to be able to watch. And somebody went through it today that it will cost someone to watch all the games in the NFL like upwards to like $12,000 or
Yeah,
some
I just
shit.
pay for the season pass for the Commanders on DAZN over here.
Yeah,
So we used to have NFL. It's like your version of the Sunday ticket. It moved to
yeah,
DAZN. So I pay, I think it's like 100 and something bucks for
well,
the
that's good.
season.
That's
Yeah, just
good.
for the Commanders. I only get the Commanders game because all the other games I watch on TV,
Oh, I
but
got you. I
purely
got you.
to
Yeah.
watch every single Commanders game. But looking at it this year, I might just cancel that subscription because I think we're going to be on our normal Sky Sports over here.
Oh, yeah,
All the
yeah.
Monday night football games are going to be on. Christmas
Sunday
Day,
night, Thursday night. Yeah.
Sunday, Christmas Day's on Netflix. I've got Netflix. So I'm thinking to myself,
You have Amazon Prime because
yeah, I've got
that's
Amazon
week
Prime.
two right there.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think the prime games we get on Sky Sports as well, Thursday night football. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants games gets put on TV over here. Anyway, we're going to see a lot of the Washington Commanders on our TV screens this year.
Oh
Jesse,
yeah.
let's talk a little bit of football as well while we're here. I mean, we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. Mini rookie camp has started now. Have you been impressed with what the bits and pieces that you've seen being released from there?
Yeah, it's tough
It's
seeing,
hard, isn't it? Like you said last year,
it's
it's like no one tackles fresh air.
shorts
Yeah.
and t-shirts.
I'm hearing good
I'm
things about Jalen Lane.
sure. Yeah, uh,
Was he fourth round pick?
he's our fourth round pick, receiver. I think he's going to be more of a special teamer this year, starting off the bat. But yeah,
Did he
he's
have one
got
of the
def-
best records in special teams coming out of college?
Yeah,
Did I
yeah.
someone?
He was the Adam Peters or yeah Peters and Quinn's number one special teamer coming out of the draft. But he could be. You know who else was coming out? Terry
Mm,
McLaurin was this
mm.
team's number one. Jay Gruden's number one special teamer coming out of the draft. So um, obviously we can't expect him to become what Terry McLaurin is, but I think with
Got a
some
question for you. I've
development,
got a question for you about that in a minute.
sure.
Something that I've seen flying around.
Uh, with some development, he could be an integral part to the team in the future.
With us being really good now, and we are really good now, Terry's coming into the last year of his contract. There's gonna be no problem there with contract negotiations, is there? He's
I
not
know.
going.
I
He's
doubt it.
already. I read
He's going to
something.
be.
I don't remember. It was one of the beat reporters last week, end of last week. I was just sitting scrolling through X, Twitter, whatever you call it now, and they were like, "Good luck keeping Terry," and I'm like, why the fuck would he want to leave now? Now, after all, the thing is for me, you think about what that guy's been through since he's been with us. He's been through the shit. He's been through the bad, the very bad. The fucking the season was over in November.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's been through that. He's been through the God knows how many. He's been through the Heineke's, the Alex Smiths, the Fitzgeralds, the fucking God knows who else. He's now. Why now would he go? Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to see out the last year of my contract, then I'm going to test the waters. Not going to happen. But how quickly or important do you think it is that we get around they've probably already done it. They've sat around the table and there's probably been talks already because you're in the last year of your deal. How important and when do you think that could potentially, that like some talks or negotiations would take place and it gets wrapped up and the commanders just say, look, we don't want any talk of this for this season. We know he's on the last year, but let's get this wrapped up. Let's get it done. Let's get him signed.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be done right before training camp.
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
my feeling. And Terry will be a uh, uh, a commander until he retires.
Mm.
Give him a 3-year deal with maybe
An
a
option.
team option
Mm.
for fourth, and then I mean he'll be well into his 30s then he'll probably ride off into the sunset. But it'll be good to keep him for it's time to pay him now. While Jaden's still on a rookie contract, you won't have to worry about that for quite a few years. And by the time Terry's contract ends, then it'll be time to pay Jaden. And then I would assume Terry would retire because he'll already be about almost 34 years old by then. So,
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree. Just finishing up, Jesse, the NFC East, and we mentioned like the schedule at the end of this season. between us and Philly, would you say, or
Yeah,
will the Cowboys and Giants have any sort of say?
I still think the Cowboys are going to be irritating this year, and could definitely
Especially
make
with some of
some
the moves they
noise.
made in the last week.
Yeah, the Cowboys could make some noise. I don't think they're going. I think it's going to be between us and Philly, and I think the Giants will be irritating when we play them. But they're not. I don't expect the Giants with that schedule to win much more than 6 games. To be honest with you,
Mm.
I think the Cowboys could get close to double digits, and I think it's going to be between us and Philly.
To keep a fan base happy though, what does success look like this season? Because we were one game away last year.
I mean, we got to go back. It's got to go
NFC
back into the
Championship again.
playoffs.
Got to be odd.
I mean, not necessarily. It all depends. But you got to be.
In
I
it.
I don't think we're going to get to 12 games this year. I really
10
don't
gets
think we will.
9, 10 gets you out of the division.
Um, I mean, it will get you into the playoffs. 9,
Mm.
10 will get you into the playoffs. I still don't think we Philly is the issue here. They're so well rounded in all
Mm.
facets of the game. It's going to be hard to contend with them. I think we can, but it's we're gonna have to catch them slipping. It's going to be tough. I still think they're the best team in the league
You look how
from
close
top
that
to
game
bottom.
was at Northwest when we beat them at home. It was a close
We
game.
did beat them home.
Yeah.
Also, their quarterback did get hurt, but you see how close it was when we lost 55 to 23.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the moments last year. You look at the Bears and the Hail Mary. You look at the Philly game. There were so many that could have swung either way. So,
Sure.
like you said at the start, you need the football gods. You need the certain things to fall your way. But I think honestly, I'm really, as I should be, I'm really hopeful for this season. I think
Yeah,
obviously we'll get into our schedule breakdown when Scouse is back. 10 games, I think.
yeah. We
And
one
why not?
issue that I have with the team, and it's my biggest worry, is that we did not do nearly enough as we should have on defense.
Defense, yeah, I need to.
Um, yes, we drafted a rookie, but he's going to be a rookie cornerback, and we needed that, and he's going to have his ups and downs as he um, progresses and matures. But our Kinlaw, I don't. People talk about the price. I think that's nonsense. That's the going rate for a player like him nowadays. I mean, you look what John Allen got, in Kinlaw was a lot cheaper than John Allen. We didn't do enough at edge. That's my big worry. And the problem is if you cannot rush the passer, okay, it doesn't matter how good your cornerbacks are; they're going to get open eventually. They can't
Mhm.
hold on. It's the rule of thumb is 3 seconds, man. 3 seconds.
Mhm.
That's how long corners can cover. 3 seconds. And if you don't have anybody to get to the quarterback by then,
Yeah.
I think you're doomed. And that's my big worry. I have a lot of pressure is going to be put on Jaden Daniels to score 35 points a game to win some of these games against some of these teams that we're going to be playing this year, as in the Eagles, the Cowboys, the freaking Kansas City, the Lions. We got to play the Lions. I mean,
Again, yeah, that'll
we're
be a
going
different.
against we got some high flying
We're
offense, high
dining at the
powered.
top table now, my friend.
We are, and we're putting a lot of pressure on Jaden Daniels to score a lot of points because I just don't think our defense is going to be that good.
Yeah, I think there's going to be. I think you're going to see some shootouts this season. I think
Yeah,
there's going to be some serious nail biting moments. Some will go for us, some might not go for us. But hey, look, did you get your passport yet?
not yet. I'm going to.
Okay,
I'm
you
getting
got
it
to
this
have.
month.
I don't know if it's like here, but you have to have 6 months on a passport before you can come.
Hmm.
I have to have 6 months on mine left valid so I can come to the States. So get it sorted quick so you can get to
Yeah, I better. Yeah,
but your flights are booked, everything's done, just so everyone knows they can come and find you in Madrid.
yeah. You can come find me in Madrid. I put the deposit down. I got priority access as soon as the teams, or as soon as they release the ticket packages. My flight will be booked.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to see you in Madrid. I will see you sometime. I don't know if it's week 1 or I was meant to be over in October, but I'll be there. somehow. Don't know how. I'll be there. Yeah, I'll come and see you. But we'll be back next week. Anyone that wants to check out the show, you can find us on Apple, on Spotify for the audio version, or just head over to YouTube, type in the Bunker Podcast, scroll down, you'll see the little Washington logo. Again, not the Hitler documentary. Don't click on that one. You won't see me or Jesse in that, or you might see one of our like great grandfathers in there. I don't know what they're doing, but you might do. But yeah, click on the Bunker Podcast on YouTube. You can find us on there. Like I say, Spotify, Apple. Also follow us on X at Commander Bunker. You can find all our links on there, and we put all our shows out on there. But we'll be back next week. We'll try and get the guy, the other Scouse fella from the One Safety Show Point, whatever it's called over there. He'll be back next week talking with us. But till next time, everybody, bunker down and stay safe.